Will altcoins crash to zero? Will there be an alt season? Should I buy or sell altcoins now? Hey guys, let's figure out together what is happening in the crypto market and what scenario I consider the most likely. Watch the video until the end and don't forget to subscribe. So, in recent days, altcoins have dropped significantly, supposedly due to news about earthquakes, or for some other reason, it doesn't matter. What matters is that this happens again and again, but was this unexpected? Not for me. In my video reviews of coins like Chia Network and Scroll, I already mentioned that I expect the entire crypto market to decline further, and now I will explain why. Look at the Bitcoin chart. It has only slightly dropped. While altcoins have fallen as we are in a bear market. For example, the Scroll altcoin. And in my opinion, for most altcoins, this is indeed a bear market. After all, Bitcoin still has room to fall. If you look at the previous cycles, we will see that a drop of more than 30% wouldn't surprise anyone. Even 55% is possible. So why shouldn't it happen in this cycle? And I think everyone has noticed that in this cycle, mostly only Bitcoin has been growing, except for Solana and meme coins. So why is that? Well, almost no one had Bitcoin. Retail investors preferred altcoins because they have much greater growth potential. But what incentive do major market makers have to pump altcoins in this case? Exactly none. They pumped assets where retail investors had little presence. So, does this mean we should buy Bitcoin instead of altcoins now? Or maybe rush to buy meme coins? Of course not. Bitcoin has already grown significantly in this cycle, and there has been a lot of hype around it, both in use and among people. I don't expect strong further growth for Bitcoin in this cycle. And even if Bitcoin price doubles, that is not the kind of profit worth entering this market for. The probability of Bitcoin falling is currently higher than of it rising. So what about altcoins? When will the altcoins we invested in grow? And will they grow at all? I believe the crypto market is here to stay with us for a long time, and altcoins are a major part of it. Big players have already made money on Bitcoin's growth, and the next logical scenario is to shift their capital from Bitcoin to altcoins to multiply their profits even more. Just imagine investing hundreds of millions of dollars, turning them into billions by pumping Bitcoin's price. Would you refuse to make even more money by pumping altcoins, which have much higher growth potential? Of course not. Altcoins are a tool, and they will be used. So why are altcoins falling in price right now? And when will the long-awaited alt season come? Let's figure it out. I think there are several reasons why alt season hasn't started yet. Check out this post from CEO of Bybit. Liquidations during the last drop amounted to about $10 billion. And the key part here is that liquidations were mostly from long positions. So, the first reason is that people are still going long with margin positions. The second reason is that most people are not selling their spot portfolios, but they should be. People need to be scared that altcoins will go to zero, and currently they don't expect it. The third reason is that many projects have already launched on exchanges with huge valuations, allowing early holders to sell to the crowd and secure solid profit without waiting for the alt season. Also, there is currently not much liquidity in both the crypto and stock market. Money is still expensive, interest rates in the US remain high, and so far there is no rhetoric about lowering them. Considering all the factors mentioned above, I believe that major players benefit from further declines in altcoin prices in the near future, possibly until the summer of 2025. The economic situation supports this, and it also helps instill fear and disappointment among investors. After such a decline, very few people will remain in the market without a significant drawdown in their investment portfolios, and even long-time crypto influencers will start talking about the possibility of altcoins going to zero. And that is exactly what big players need to launch the rocket for the next rally to the Mars. It can't be that retail investors buy altcoins on some recommendations from YouTubers and magically become rich. Who in this case will be paying for the party? Because in most cases, retail investors are the fuel. And this time it will not be different. Only after disappointment, Altseason will begin. When prices have risen significantly from the bottom, that is when people will experience FOMO and start buying. Let's look at the Cadena altcoin chart. Its market cap was only several millions on the bottom. Then it grew to several billions. Do you think that many people bought this coin at the bottom? I don't think so. Now let's analyze what could happen to altcoins using Chia Network chart as an example. The coin dropped significantly, then traded sideways. Most people assumed it was accumulation and started buying. And look at this. Similar pattern repeated several times, giving people hope that the expected growth has already begun. And what should a big player do now? Let everyone make money? That is why the price keeps dropping. And once most people have sold this coin, that is when the real bottom will be set. Let's recall Cadena's market cap at the bottom. It was just a few millions. Chia's current market cap is over 100 million. So there is still room to fall. This applies to most coins in the current market. I believe we will see another bounce to around $20-25 and then a decline, possibly down to $4 per coin. And this price, Chia's market cap would drop below $50 million, which is a reasonable level for setting a bottom. I can only imagine how people who bought this coin above $40 and didn't sell must fail. And that is when real panic selling will happen, because they will think the coin is going to zero. But once the price climbs above $100, $200 per coin, those same people will rush to buy again. That is how fear and greed work. And this will happen with most coins. Here's chart just an example. Once we see the Chia price around $4 or $5, we can assume that this will be the market bottom before the next alt season. As we have analyzed, I believe that in 2025 we will still see lower prices for most altcoins, and closer to 2026 or later, Altseason will begin. And I expect a strong Altseason, something similar to 2017. For example, see the chart of XRP coin in 2017. Its capitalization has grown from 15 million to 124 billion. This is about 2000x. It is unlikely that we will see the same growth, but the potential is still huge. By the Altseason starts, very few investors will remain. Big players will buy coins at low prices, and the economic situation will improve as the Fed lowers interest rates. I think the total crypto market cap can reach $10 trillion in this case. Remember, everything I said is just my assumption. Good luck to all of us, and don't forget to subscribe. We might still be useful to each other.